Welcome back, everybody, for yet another episode with On the Road with Poker Listings. This is your host, Jason Glatzer, and I'm here with two very important industry people over here at Portomaso Casino, where the Malta Poker Festival was recently just held. It ended yesterday. I am here with a good friend of mine, Jonathan Micallef. We became good friends over the past month that I've been living in Malta, and also the general manager of the casino, Jesmond Galea. Welcome, both of you guys.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you for the invite, Jason.
You're welcome. And
nice having you here as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you guys are actually still alive and awake after not sleeping during the last
tiring, but
no, we are quite a little bit drained, but obviously the last days, after the tournament, it's normal that we are here to make sure that the set down is done, to look into the numbers, to do a post-mortem exercise of the tournament, So, yes, a few days after that, we're still here, but then we will be off for a few days of rest, actually.
That we need, everyone needs.
Now, it was an interesting experience for me because, as you both know, I've worked events at your casino before. Yeah. Maybe one event just with the one event recently, we can focus back on the party poker, the PPC. For sure, working long hours, having a great time both as a worker and now as a player as well, because this week I was here as a player, played a handful of tournaments, and the mixed cash games at night were absolutely fantastic. So I'm wondering what the feedback is, let's say, from the other players and your feedback. Obviously, the festival from a financial perspective or from a global perspective was a success. I can say that based just looking at the numbers, and especially the main event hitting near 500,000 when it was a 300,000 guarantee. Yeah. Guarantee never a question, just a matter of how big. But what do you guys think? How did it go from your end of things?
So the feedback that we have from a lot of the players, obviously that we spoke with, they're really happy about the outcome, really happy about the venue. Structure wise, everyone was happy about, especially the main event. Even high roller, we did really good numbers in the high roller as well. So even for a high roller satellite, we did 150 entries for a satellite for the high roller, which is good as well. Everyone was happy, and everyone wanted to come back after 2 years, more than 2 years, that no one was coming, obviously because of the COVID situation. That is the feedback that we had from most of the players.
And it was such like a different level of players too, because you had what you mentioned, but you also had the fact that you had a 2-day 150 euro buy-in for the APAT event, for example, and a 2-day Handemab event at a smaller buy-in.
Yes.
So there was really something for any recreational or semi-professional player, and there were a few professionals such as Chris that was here, and Stephen, who lives on the island, Van Zittelhoff made a visit as well just to play the Handemab event, not even to play the main event, because they wanted to have fun playing poker, and that's an important message.
That was our aim for the festival.
For sure, people like our venue for two reasons. I don't want to be biased, but people like to visit Portomaso Casino. They like to play the Malta Poker Festival. One of the reasons is that the atmosphere is very relaxed, and I heard this myself. People chit-chatting between themselves that compared to other countries, the atmosphere, the vibe is very easygoing. Another thing is that compared to other tournaments, the casino management, he's hands-on on the tournament. So the fact that we are here all the time, even if it's not the Malta Poker Festival, even it's other tournaments, we are hands-on. So we are the people that make sure that all the setup is done right, and we make sure that during the tournament we are here to be available for the partners, for the players, for the complaints that there might be, because obviously you cannot have 1,000 people a day and do not have one single complaint. But we make sure that things are tackled in the right manner. So those, for me, those 2 points are enough, for the key to success, obviously, and to keep us going. because we are not a very big team. The casino employs a lot of people, but the team that will take care of the tournaments, I mean, everyone has his input, but operational wise, we are always on the ball, sort of.
And it makes a lot of sense from many levels, but a bit because of the experience that you guys have in doing this for not just with the Malta Poker Festival, but even before that for so many years. But forget the fact that that's a big event, it has a different level of hospitality needed. You also run on a daily basis cash games and local tournaments, and those players are always feeling comfortable. So there's already the knowledge from the core players. Word of mouth is rather big in Malta, that even pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, it's pretty much the only place to go for daily poker, but pre-pandemic, that you can go to Portomaso, feel comfortable, and feel like you're having a good time, even if you don't win playing the poker. It's the general vibe that everybody tells me, and I feel it myself in the month that I've been here.
I think that's a pro. I mean, it's one of the pros from our. I mean, we make sure that it's not that it's felt. I mean, the feedback that it's felt. We know that's the result for us.
And we take it on board as well. As you said, on daily basis, we have tournaments every day, cash games every day. So basically, we take all the feedback as well on board, and we continue growing for the locals, because for us, I mean, locals are very important.
Yeah, so it's amazing that the pandemic happened and then this happened. Not the amazing about the pandemic, but just the amount of time that was off. I think the audience needs to really understand when they're going to a poker event nowadays that if there was no pandemic, the dealers would be the same dealers as 3 years ago. Now we're almost 3 years ahead. I mean, you can't expect dealers to be waiting around for their jobs, but yet I look around and there's all these experienced faces. And there's a bunch of new faces in too, and that's probably where the challenge comes in. So it's an ongoing challenge.
That's a big challenge.
I mean, we know ourselves that some dealers that used to be, in the trend, they had to change jobs. They had to find new jobs. Obviously, I mean that was one of the challenges during the pandemic.
Especially the freelance dealers. Obviously, they stayed 2.5 years with no events practically. So it's a challenge now to find dealers and to bring them to an event as well. So it's a good challenge. It's a good challenge.
Yeah, and if you're a dealer out there, you can always contact these two gentlemen, and they will send you in the right direction to potentially go ahead and become a poker dealer.
We cannot not mention now the person behind, the dealers that we get, obviously.
Yes.
So our TD, Danilo, and Ludo's Academy.
Yes.
I mean, they help us a lot.
They supply us with dealers as well. And, they're doing a good job themselves.
Alessandra as well, which is, they're partners with Danilo for Ludo's Academy, and they help us a lot. And they are our partner, which supply us with all the stuff.
And he's one of the best in the industry, Danilo. It's I know a lot of TDs. I'm friends with a lot of TDs around, and typically I don't know Danilo on a friendly level. So with him, it's like a professional respect. With the other ones, it's a dual thing. But he seems also like an interesting guy to get to know.
Yes.
But he's always so busy that when I don't see him outside the events, I never have the time to.
He is a really down to earth person, and he takes. When he's a TD, obviously you need to act as a TD. But when he's outside the role of TD, he's like one of us,
Everyday guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because they can't see us, so maybe they don't know that we're everyday people.
Yeah.
Okay, so building on the success of the Malta Poker Festival, and before that, the party event, which did have some overlay, but that was a planned overlay by everybody that at least I knew there was going to be overlay going into the event.
We planned
that
it
was
3
on the
weeks.
party side. It was a quick planning, and but now everything else seems like you have some other big events coming up that will get a lot of attention.
Yes.
For sure.
The events that we have right now, which we can do them publicly, we have Stella Bet, the poker one, coming up.
Okay, Stanley Bet.
Yeah, it's next month actually, from the 8th of June till the 12th of June.
Okay.
300k guarantee.
For once again a 550 buy-in.
550 buy-in. It's a different, obviously from MPF. It's a smaller one. There's going to be only day 1A and day 1B.
Okay.
And you can re-enter till second level of day 2.
Okay.
Basically, it's much more the Italian market. Obviously,
We do that in Estonia too. I mean, I live in Lithuania, but I'm always up at the Estonian, events, and typically it's a day 1A, day 1B, and maybe a turbo day 1C. But as long as you can late enter on day 2, it doesn't really matter. You're still usually with like 30 bigs or something, to start day 2.
That's the. And then maybe we'll have something in September planned, but we cannot.
Nothing confirmed yet.
Then obviously there's MPF in October, which will happen from the 24th till the 31st.
Ah, so there's dates now. Very good. Okay.
550 buy-in always. Guaranteed we'll keep it.
That's still
let's not say it. Let's not say it for now. And then we have another one, a new tournament as well. The poker one. The player one. Which will happen from the 29th of November till the 4th of December.
very good.
Buy-in, it's 300 euros, main event.
Ah, so a bit of a different than the usual stuff.
100k guarantee.
Very nice.
Okay. And there's going to be nice surprises as well. Okay. Some nice side events as well. Basically, that's what we have planned for this year.
Along with the usual daily tournaments, Thursday night, mixed game nights, and all the cash games
as well. And it doesn't mean that from our end, as casino, we don't do our, we will restart obviously some of our multi-days as well during summer.
Yeah.
Which pre-pandemic were very, very popular.
Yes.
So
people like that.
We'll drop a few multi-days as well in the casino.
And I imagine that there will be some, let's say, operators out there listening. If they want to go ahead and book something at Portomaso, is it available to? So that there are some open dates in the calendar.
We are already talking with new partners. I mean, the player one is a new partner and new market. So we are always open and we are always looking for new partners to organize and operate their tournaments.
Actually, even for to mention as well, during MPF we did a good partnership with Alex Henry.
That's right. So, he did a fantastic job.
Yes.
That's with the Unibet DSO.
He helped us a lot as well. Alex I want to mention him because he really did his aim, obviously, to that the Malta Poker Festival was a success. He brought players as well. I mean, French.
And I love these mobile sit-and-goes with the, I guess alternate reality devices, not really virtual, but it was very cool what he's trying to do there.
And soon we'll
launch
the app here as well.
Very cool. Yes.
We have some nice surprises about it as well.
After like 2 years, working on that project for us, it was a side project, obviously. It will be deployed very, very soon in the casino, so people can look for it only exclusively at Portomaso Casino.
And obviously, special thanks to Ivan too. I
was going to leave the best for last. Obviously, you cannot not mention Yvonne. Definitely.
Yes, you can't not mention her, but she also had a lot of help from people like Donna Morton. So shout out to Dark Angel and to Maureen Blocklinger, who not only hosted the ladies' first event, but was constantly engaging with the players.
That was what we want to mention. Is obviously we need to thank all the people that they worked with one another behind the scenes as well. Which is, as you said, hosting players it's very important. People will feel at home while you're hosting them. So I want to thank them all. And obviously, as we said, Yvonne did her best and her utmost for the festival as well. And it was really nice to be back working with her after all 2 years that we couldn't do nothing.
And it won't be as long of a wait this time. With the next one,
not at all. Actually,
October.
Not at all.
Nice.
I mean, we are not waiting because we will be working from tomorrow on the autumn version.
Maybe not tomorrow, next week, but we're already starting to deploy.
Slowly we'll be starting as of tomorrow, actually.
And the good thing to know, if you come to Malta, not only can you play games, if you come with like a group of people, you give these guys a little bit of heads notice, they'll and you want to play something a little bit different,
Yes,
they're the most
course.
accommodating place in Europe when it comes to that. Everything's set up right away, especially if you give advance notice. Yeah, I know from first-hand experience.
Yes.
Jonathan, we need 3 tables, and we have 3 tables when we need.
Ready.
Yes, ready.
Yes,
Set to go.
yes.
I want to thank as well all my staff, all our staff, dealers, supervisors, everyone that obviously they helped us a lot during this operation, even on a daily basis. So that is very important for us as well.
Okay, and so before we sign out, we can do some more things, but I had one really important question on my mind. Important meaning just important to me. Obviously, you see the poker, and I'm the same, but I've been playing poker since I've been able to hold a deck of cards, not necessarily for money, but just because, I always like games like that. So when I work an event, I'm not usually thinking about it when I'm working because I absolutely love my work too. But then I think about, what, it'd been nice maybe to play that later. Do you get that kind of itch from your end of the industry where you see everybody, especially here, where you see not only people playing, competitive poker, but having fun while doing it? Do you feel like, it would be nice if I could just enter the main event? Obviously you can't, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, what if, for example, we had to go somewhere else, abroad and play a tournament? I do not get the urge, tell you the truth. I really look forward when we have tournaments. I love, doing them, operating them and the logistics side of it. But I do not have an urge to play, not at all, actually. I'm not a gambler myself, so I just work in casinos. Although, to tell you the truth, we were testing the OnLive app, and I didn't want to let it go. So I love that.
So it's gonna get.
No,
I like it from my side. I like it when I go abroad. Obviously, I like poker, so
it shows up in what you do too, because you can relate to the poker player, which has a different mindset than the casino player. Because poker is an advantage game that the casino doesn't mind being an advantage game because they're getting percentage, whereas the casino games are not advantage games. Just some of them have less disadvantage than others, and they're meant to just be entertaining, and not meant to. You can't make a living playing a casino game, but you can make a living playing poker. As the best example of that.
Yes.
that's true.
No, but when events are coming up,
We get excited.
We get excited.
That's good.
We're all geared up. We're all geared up.
It's more work for us, but we love it. We really do. And myself and Jesmond, we work synchronized and we work all together. So it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to be back, all of us. It's nice to see people like you as well coming back and enjoying playing poker, as you mentioned when you were playing mixed cash games the other day. I mean, it's nice that everyone is having fun together. It's nice to see it.
Yeah, that was a very special night. It was last Thursday.
Yeah,
Just
last
before we
Thursday.
wrap up, just to give an idea, typically there is a decent, for Europe anyway, there is a decent mixed game community, mostly of expats living here in Malta. There are some local people that like to play as well. So on Thursday nights, sometimes they get together at Portomaso pretty much every Thursday, and they have a pot limit super dealer's choice game, which means you can make up the game when you're on the button. You can take an established game, but you can't, if you made up something, you have to explain it in a way that everybody understands, and you play a full orbit, and then the next player gets to choose a game. So those games can be fun. I love those games, but I grew up playing limit poker. So I'm older than I look, so maybe I'm aging myself now that I like to limit mixed games, but I haven't been able to play them for 10 years. So, because when I visit the States, it's either a quick business trip, or if I'm with family and friends, the last thing I'm thinking on a trip to see them is I'm going to go and spend 10 hours in the casino, because they're not poker friends, they're life friends. So I've really been not able to play the limit games. And at first it wasn't like riding a bike, it was like a completely different game. But the point is, it's a new experience, not only for me, who has played them all my life, they just don't exist in Europe. So you have to understand from, let's say, our perspective from the mixed game community, how important, how special that night actually was, because I don't remember anywhere in Europe in all my travels. Yes, sometimes during a pot limit dealer's choice game, somebody will choose a limit game and we'll play a round of it, but a pure limit table in Malta. And I know I wasn't the only one that appreciated it. Robbie Straczynski obviously came out from Israel. Martin Smith, who lives on the other side of the island, he writes books and blogs about mixed games. I don't want to start mentioning everybody, but you get the idea that people came special for that night, and it just shows an example of what the casino can provide, and not only can provide, but they have the dealers that already know how to deal mixed games, and that is very difficult because dealers are typically trained in Hold'em, and when they get that Omaha, when you tell them, okay, now we're playing Super Stud Raz Doogie, and it's like every word of that doesn't make any sense to them, so but here they're like, okay, Super Stud Raz Doogie, do you mean this? Where it's half Raz and half Badoogie and Super Stud. Yeah, exactly, let's go.
That's it.
But I know you guys have a busy day after the event just wrapped up yesterday. So I just want to give you a special thanks for your hospitality as well for the past week. It was a pleasure, actually, for a change, not being on the 18-hour grind like you guys were, and being able to have a free schedule, be able to experience things as players. I did act like an ambassador to poker, but also to the festival. People, I think you saw me butterflying around quite a lot. I enjoy doing that, and
we would like to thank you as well. Really thank you, because even your opinions are very important to us, and we would like to thank you as well for this opportunity that you gave us.
It's been a pleasure. Once again, Jason Glatzer with On the Road, and here with Portomaso Casino, because this is Portomaso Casino. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.